Next up, we have a question from Linus. Hello from the States. I train about 10 to 12 hours a week for mostly gravel races in the 5+ hour range. I feel like I have a good fit on the road bike and gravel bike. However, I want to ask if I have fit or fitness issues. If I go out for a 2-hour hard ride, I get off feeling fine, albeit fatigued. If I ride for 5 hours, my back starts to feel stiff at the end and my feet get hot spots and really start to hurt. Are these things I should be fine-tuning my fit to fix, or should I work on conditioning my body with back strengthening exercises? Now is the time of year when I start going for longer training rides, and I feel like in past seasons these issues fade the more I do 4+ hour rides.
So I think they've kind of, to a certain degree, they've answered their own question at the end there a little bit, just in terms of, I feel like in past seasons the issues start to fade when I start doing longer rides. Well,
So
crack on with that.
Essentially.
Yeah. So there's a bit of that. I think as well, if you've got 10 to 12 hours a week, I'd be looking to kind of incorporate some sort of strength and conditioning work, not necessarily back specific, but just general strength and conditioning work, because that can just help get your body in better balance, essentially. The hot spots on your feet, I guess that could be potentially to do with cleat position. But again, it's whether you're kind of competent in sorting that out yourself, or whether it's better just to kind of...
I guess people probably underestimate fatigue a lot as well, because ultimately hot spots in theory could be, if it's on really long rides, could be because he is fatiguing in other areas of his body because he isn't conditioned for the longer rides at that point in the season. He's then accounting and accommodating with other bits of his body, which then are causing other issues. Conditioning is definitely a significant thing in sport, which is why pretty much all professional athletes have a strength and conditioning coach. How much strength and conditioning do you do?
So across winter, like 2 to 3 sessions per week. And then this is the time of year where it gets really challenging, because I say it's like...
What do you prioritize ultimately?
Yeah, and just kind of managing fatigue, because it's like right now, okay, you go and do a stage race, you try and recover, but then you do want like, what I'd liken it to is kind of, it's like keeping plates spinning.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing during the season. It's like just making sure you're working on these different elements are important. And that's probably the one plate I find most challenging to kind of keep on top of. It's just, when to do that session, and I think as well, it's, think about it in terms of priorities and whether when it becomes like more of a maintenance thing, you're just kind of keeping it spinning, then dropping the volume, essentially just putting a bit less strain on your body during that session.
If someone was looking to incorporate strength and conditioning into their training, is there like say someone which doesn't know what to do, is there a good source out there, or is that the sort of thing where you kind of need a coach for them to be able to make some suggestions? It's a tough one, isn't it? Because it's, if you don't know,
I mean, there's
do,
loads of articles online. It's like, I mean, there is. If you just search cycling strength and conditioning,
there's just stuff.
Just keep it pretty simple to start. Like if you're just looking to do something yourself, just think of it.
Don't overthink
really
it. Just kind of anything in that space is going to be better than nothing.
Ultimately, if you did 12 weeks and it was like 3 by 10 reps, it was like you probably would improve that. Yes, there may be a more optimal strategy, but as a starting point, it's kind of think of like pick the low hanging fruit first. Just do a few basic movements which replicate the cycling range of movement, but then also include some exercises that potentially address other areas you want to improve, and just keep it as simple as that.
Cool.